listening in today as we will be discussing practical and applicable tools to navigate life when you feel as though you've been coming up short. Know that God is more than enough. He's more than enough for parenting, relationships, business, church, and schools. Be encouraged today. God is more than enough.
It's by your many stripes I've been set free. Jehovah Shammah, know you with me. You're right here to supply every one of my needs. That makes you know, really know. God, you are more than enough. You more than enough for me. Jehovah Jireh, you're my constant provider. You are more than enough for me.
Hello and welcome to More Than Enough with Yo. We are here on Tuesdays, traditionally 7 o'clock. So glad to have everybody with us. My producer's talking about me. Every now and then I am an offender. I have broke the law today of when to start recording. So work with me. Please. Once again, so glad and excited to have everybody with us. We have so many things to talk about. First off, I want to, and I know that this is viewed now, we found out the other day, in 46 countries. Wow. I'm sorry, 49. I stand to be corrected. And if we get this right, it'll be 50 before this show is over. How about that? So I'm excited about that because originally we started off with 16 countries and we are up to 49 countries. So y'all better get y'all some of this. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, what's up, Elam? I see you, girl. I have Carmen Elam with me in the studio on today. And she is, I'm going to let her talk about herself a little bit, but this, don't be fooled. She is ready to take on the world, dimples and all, okay? I had stated on the Facebook Live version of the show that I am sitting next to Steve Elam's Pooh.
Hi, baby.
This is his honey, yes. And it's so good to have her. Truly high amount of respect for him. Great person, phenomenal educator, and just somebody that you will always want to have in your corner to make a difference in your children's lives. And I would even say in the lives of adults as well that have committed themselves to education. But I want to honor her on today. Carmen Elam is somebody, again, a force not to be reckoned with, and don't be fooled. She has a lot of information, a lot of resources, and a lot of supports. So I do want to kind of like get into the show a little bit. We talked about a few things. You know, I've committed, and just so y'all know, I brought my own tissue. It ain't Kleenex.
Have a half of that one.
I'm gonna let you have the whole one. I'm different than my producer. I give tissue.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And I so enjoy him. We talked about this before here. And don't feel like I've upgraded. I got a Bounty paper towel. I folded it in fours.
It's all good. It does the same thing.
Because these are thick tissues. These are thick tears. We have to be prepared for what God is going to give us. But in truth, I do want to talk about some of the areas that we have found in our work with the community and servicing people we were talking about this class that I have coming up soon, that it provides you all, and I'll post the flyer on Facebook for you, so those that want to come. It is an opportunity for people who have not gotten their high school diploma. You look so official.
Well, thank you.
Look at you. Proper etiquette and poise. You know, I got to take on that straight back sit up. But it's for people who have not gotten their high school diploma and they don't want a GED, but they want a high school diploma. There's an opportunity this Thursday at 12 o'clock. If you know somebody, for them to still get a high school diploma, all they need is their ID or their driver's license or state ID or birth certificate, and we can get them back and enrolled in school within a week.
Awesome.
Yes, so dreams still do come true.
Yes, they
There's
do.
an opportunity, and it doesn't matter about the age, but I will post that on Facebook. I'm just going to get a little housekeeping information out of the way. I also shared on previous shows. I want to share this again on this show before we get started real good. I love to give things away, and because I cannot hand people a raffle ticket, I need you all to actually message me, or you can go on the website, worshipdetroit.com, and you can pull up one of the icons of the shows, More Than Enough, or you can pull up You Can't Stop Me, but this is the More Than Enough moment, and actually go in and put your contact information in so I can pull and I can mail you something and be a blessing to you on today.
Excellent.
I am excited about what is to come, but I do want to draw some attention because it seems like, Carmen, as I was just driving up Woodward today, and I know that we are viewed in a lot of different places, but for those that are here in the metropolitan Detroit area, you know, there's a lot of expansion. There's a
Yes.
lot of growth that's taking place. And I always get concerned that in expansion and growth, that we're mindful that some people don't get left behind.
Yes.
And so I want to talk about a little bit just making sure that as we progress as a community, but beyond a city or a community, as a people,
Yes.
I want to talk about that piece. How do we work consciously to make sure that people don't get left behind? So I think about the fact that there's just a lot of people out there that need a second chance.
Yes, you are so right.
You know, things may have not gone right the first time, and I think a lot of us have made mistakes over the years, or we were with the wrong person at the wrong time, or
That's so true.
should have not took a ride from this person, and that car got pulled up and you got caught up in it.
Yes.
Or just made bad choices that led us in the wrong area. But how do we look out for people who might fall in those shaded areas in life and may not have the opportunities that others have?
Well, first of all, I think it begins with the program that you have for the high school diplomas. It begins with people knowing that they're able to succeed, and the only way that they're going to be assured that there's a way out.
Wow.
And the only way that they're going to be able to be assured is that they have that basic foundation. And through your program, you're going to give them that basic foundation of having a high school diploma, so that when they're filling out that job application, and like you said earlier, they come across that box that states, do you have a high school diploma?
Lie? What do you put?
Exactly.
You know?
And then when it's time for you to prove that
you just don't show
you have a high school diploma, again, you don't show up. So what are your options? So I think it begins with that. That begins the foundation. And from there, growth, not just job growth, but entrepreneurship.
Wow.
I think that in our community, we're consumers. We're not well versed in actually owning our own businesses, because through no fault of our own parents, we didn't learn those types of things. We were bred to be consumers. And I think that we have to get out of that mindset that we have to have a job. And I know that we have to have a job because we have to have income, but in addition to that, I think that we should develop some programs where we can teach our children that it's okay to live our dreams. It's okay to have a trade and turn that trade into a business.
And you hit on something, Carmen. I remember there was a time that people just wanted to have their own.
Yes, yes.
You know, even in certain cultures, the dream was that I would have my own.
Yes.
And I would have
Yes.
something I could pass down to my children.
That's so right.
You know, and so I wonder how we got to be a race or a population where it's only taking what people give you and not going after what you want. You know, and you know, you mentioned about the foundation starting with people getting their high school diploma, so they have. I also think it's a sense of closure.
Yes.
It's a sense of validation and worth.
Yes. Yes. Most
Because
definitely.
I've been in the company of a lot of people who have been there for their children's graduation, but they had never graduated. I remember I had did this. I was doing a parenting class, a course. And I had a mom, I think it was like 6 or 8 kids she had. She was married.
Right.
And 3 of her kids were actually in college.
Right.
And she had finally said to me when we were finishing the class and everybody was saying what the class meant to them and how much they had got out of it. And she couldn't stop crying. Her kids that came, her grandchildren that came to the graduation. And she had said, you know, this is the first time I've ever graduated from anything.
Wow.
She said,
That's awesome.
people don't know it. And she said in the front of the whole room. And she had been in that course with folks for like several weeks and nobody knew. She said, people don't know it because I know how to educate and get kids through school, but I've never finished high school. And so this is the first time that I've graduated from anything by finishing this parenting class. But my point in bringing that up, it was, I'll never forget the tears. You know, she was like, now I know I can go back and do this and get back in school and get my GED, because then you know there was no knowledge that after you're past high school age you can get a high school diploma. So I'm really excited about the opportunity for people to be able to do that. But you hit on the piece about we are being conditioned.
Yes, we are. Most definitely.
Not even just conditioned as consumers, but what type of consumers we can be. You know, when we have so many security pieces, people watching you while you're shopping.
Yes. Yes, we've all been victims of that.
You know, that's
For
a whole nother show.
Yes, it is. It's
Wow.
like an hour.
Yeah. I mean, and it's almost like we have a whole generation of young people who are only used to seeing security systems in their school, security systems when they shop. Some communities, you got to leave your bags or things that you purchase at the counter.
Yes.
You know, so talk about that a little bit, because how can I expect to get entrepreneurs or people who realize that they have the potential to do that, and I don't even trust you to be a good shopper? Isn't that something?
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that, because I remember there have been many occasions where I've gone into the store and, you know, you see this particular person, you see them over here, you see them to your left, you see them to the
Your
right.
shadow, not your
shadow. And it's not only like today I'm going to the store, but I can go in there a week from now and I see the same person and wearing the same clothes, walking around the store aimlessly as though they're just shopping.
That's right.
So I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take a community. I think that as a community, as a people, we need to start educating ourselves and letting one another know that this is not the norm. It shouldn't be the norm where you have to go into school and actually go through a metal detector. Steve and I moved to St. Louis back in 2009, and we were in a middle school that was one of the worst middle schools in the city of St. Louis. And the school was under the direction of Kwame Simmons. And when I tell you this school was in the worst neighborhood, we did not have metal detectors. The culture was above board. And we were all instrumental in changing that culture. Kwame Simmons had, changed the culture, and we came in and maintained the culture and made it even better. And you can't tell me that you have to have metal detectors in school, because even at my husband's school, they don't have metal detectors. The students come in, and I believe it's about the culture. So we have to begin to change the culture. And until we do so, we're going to think that we're the criminals. The media has put it out there that we're not to be trusted. Black men in particular are not to be trusted. And it's just become the norm. We have to change, and it's become accepted. So we have to start with our children yay high and help them to understand that this is not the normal thing. We have to let them know that, you know what,
Wow.
Black people, and it's not just Black people, but we're specifically speaking about our people. We have to let our children know that no, we're not criminals. No, we're not. This is not the status quo. This shouldn't be the status quo.
I just had a flashback from something that happened when my children were small. You know how they have Sesame Street Live?
Yes.
And
yes.
it comes to the Fox, right?
Yes.
So, you know, my children range from 36 to 21.
Okay.
So I'm going back a little bit. I had my nieces with me because I had taken my children to Sesame Street Live repeatedly, you know, when they were little. But now I was raising my nieces. So this had to been within the last 7 years that I'm speaking of. So I'm taking them to the Fox Theater because it's tradition that I take the kids to see Sesame Street Live.
Right.
You know, I kind of like going myself. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. I got pictures too. But my friend and I, we were there. She was bringing her daughter, and I was taken back because they stopped us at the door. They have security now. They have like detectors that were there, and I don't know if they're there now, but they were there then.
Okay. Sesame Street Live. Wow.
I need to just stay there for a minute.
Sesame Street Live.
Yeah. So when you talk about conditioning, I remember the faces on my nieces.
Yes.
And they were like, Auntie Yo, what is this?
They
had never faced anything like that before. And I was apprehensive. I was offended.
Yes.
I was annoyed because I was like, security can't be that bad. You can't have a wine at the door. You guys can't come up with.
Yes.
People are bringing stuff into the Fox Theater for Sesame Street Live.
Right. Crazy.
They're going to shoot up Cookie Monster. Big Bird is in danger.
Or he might pull out a gun. What?
You hear me? I'm sorry. I'm still really like angry about this. But I remember how much work I had to do, Elam, when I got home, explaining that to them. And I had no explanation for it. Because in the past, I came... And you pay once you pay at the ticket office or you show your ticket, you walk through.
Yes.
Of course, they get you with the nuts and all that stuff right there, and then you go up to wherever you're sitting.
Steal some nuts.
But do you see what I mean?
Yes.
I just didn't. There was no sense. But my point to you is the conditioning. Yes. My challenge was a lot of other people didn't have a problem with it. But see, I'm not raising kids that's conditioned to think. Assume I'm a thief first.
That is okay. Exactly.
You make the assumption I'm going to be a thief first instead of being a great consumer and you wanting to keep my business as a patron.
Exactly.
So I had an issue with that. And so when you talk about conditioning, I made sure they knew that this is not the norm.
Exactly.
And I don't take you places where you got to go through an X-ray machine in order to verify that you qualify to be a customer. Girl, I got to stop because I'm getting upset all over again.
But it's real. It's real because...
And those are little kids.
I get offended as an adult.
So that's conditioning.
Yes. They want,
even in your entertainment, expect that I'm going to check and make sure you deserve to be here.
And they want you to feel that way. They want our children to feel that way, because if I can get the children to feel that way, I can condition them as teenagers and then full-grown adults to feel that way, that this is the way things are supposed to be. You're always supposed to be suspect. We're always looking at you. I got my eye on you. I got my eye on you. And as an adult, I'm offended when I have to go through a metal detector.
I'm a fool when I go to the airport.
Right. That
is, you know, it took me
the worst
somebody
experience
who has
ever.
Traveled with me.
That is the worst,
y'all.
And then they want to
got children in the room.
Yeah,
if you got children in the room.
Take them out.
Walk them out. 'Cause I'm about to go there.
Take them out.
Listen. When I go through the metal detector, I know this is TMI, but you know what?
Yes.
It's more than enough for yo, so get through it.
Right. Okay.
He said, what you about to do?
He's like, wait on it. Right, wait on it.
I really struggle, and I know it's for safety, air safety, and I know there's policies and there's rules. I get it. I'm a good citizen. I get all of this. But I have a big issue. It just seems like sometimes it's over the top. And I think because I'm not conditioned.
Exactly.
Where I think it's over the top. Where they run you through, and now they got the thing where it goes around.
The body wands.
You know.
Yes.
But before that, because, you know, I lived here in Chicago for 10 and a half years, so I traveled all the time.
Yes.
So I really had to talk myself off the cliff before I would get there. You know, you got to watch the clip where my grandbaby say I'm always on 10.
Okay.
But I had to talk myself, y'all, come on, you can do this. Don't put your shoestrings in. Wear sandals. Nothing that's gonna make people say anything extra to you.
Exactly.
Long story short, I remember this one time. I don't know if it was the devil after me that day. I'm telling you, I still can't put my hands on it. It was the devil, because I just can't think God would put me in that position to test me. And I remember everything kept going off.
Wow.
And I was like talking to myself,
Like,
really, Lord,
this
really?
yeah. Seriously?
And then, of course, there was a lot of people watching.
Right, like, she's black too.
Yeah. This was one of my trips where I decided to travel comfortably.
Okay.
So I don't normally wear my stretch pants and all that, but I had on a sweatshirt, and I decided to travel comfortably because I was going to be flying for a long time.
Okay.
Had a layover, and you know how you just don't want to be carrying a lot of stuff.
I already know. Yes.
So I'm going through,
Yes.
and I intentionally didn't wear certain things that would make it go off, but it kept going off. And then I could
Wow.
hear the people behind me huffing and puffing, and looking and coming up with assumptions. I was like, it's the underwire bra.
Right. You know I got one right.
And the guy looked at me. Yeah, it was a guy. And the guy looked at me. He was like, "Man, we're gonna have them wand you over there." And then I was like, "It's the bobby pins." But my point is, I just remember that feeling like I can't be transparent enough. What else do you all want from me for me to qualify? I know you checked out my stuff because I gave you my ID back there.
Exactly.
You know if I'm on the list.
Exactly. You want me to strip naked? Should I start taking the clothes off?
Don't know.
What more can I do?
I heard the Lord in my ear, and then I heard the song, "We need thee, oh, we need thee."
That's right.
I had to start singing myself down.
Yeah, I can understand.
But that's because I'm not conditioned.
Exactly.
And so even though you want to follow rules and policies, you still often I think about some of the schools I have been in.
Yes. Oh my
Where
goodness.
girls are
subjected to this.
You shouldn't have to have nobody
day.
in your backpack seeing your personal items.
Exactly.
So the security guard know
that you are,
that's your time
of the month. Exactly.
Can we just be real?
Yes. That's just too much. That's way.
You gotta throw your pen too. That was a drop the mic.
Way too much.
So the security guard got to know.
I'm catching on now. I'm catching on, y'all. I'm catching on.
I mean,
so everybody, yes.
But that's conditioning. Because I should not have to,
from a very young age,
be comfortable with people who are not in my personal life knowing that much of my business.
That's
and I know things are put in place for safety. Please don't.
And they are.
I get it all. I get all that.
Yes, we're not disputing that. However, it's too much.
Gotta be a better way, man.
At a certain point in time, it becomes way too much. It just does, because I mean,
so you used to people going through your purse as an adult now. Because
I
don't go to the clubs, but I have heard.
They go through your purses.
They go through your purse.
Sporting events, they go through your purses.
Oh, right.
Oh my goodness, yes. Steve and I went to a Lions game last year.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
I had a purse that was the specs were too big. I had to actually pay $10. We had to pay $10 to leave. It was either walk all the way back to the car.
God knew I wasn't ready.
Or pay $10. We had to pay $10 for them to keep my purse on top of the ticket and parking. We had to pay $10 for them to keep my purse, because my purse was probably this big, and
I know I ain't gonna make it in.
I was just like, wow, really?
I need $20.
And I understand, like you said, I understand.
We get it.
The way the world is. We're not disputing that part. It's
keep me safe.
Exactly. I want to be safe wherever we go. We all want to be safe.
Can I still have my privacy?
Exactly. That's my whole issue. It's an invasion. It feels like, like somebody is just constantly in your life, constantly watching you. They got the cameras all over the place. We used to live in Maryland. They had cameras everywhere. Cameras in boxes on the ground. Cameras on the lights. I'm just like, wow.
Like State of the Union.
Like
what was that?
Like show? State Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
Cameras everywhere. Was out and about with a friend.
So that wasn't just a movie. That's real stuff.
It's real stuff. Got a ticket in the mail. A month later, has the picture of the car, license plate number, $150 ticket. Oh, well, if you like to dispute this ticket, then you can do so within so many days. And I'm just like, well, how am I supposed to remember 30 days ago? You send this ticket 30 days later, and you tell me, oh, you were doing 40 in the 30 zone. I'm like, really? So I'm supposed to remember where I was?
So you got proof of something you didn't know you were doing.
Exactly. So what do I do?
System again.
How do I do this?
Remember
how do I dispute this? It's the system. So how do I dispute this ticket that you all have given me? So I had no choice but to just, I could have disputed
your money,
it, but I had to pay the ticket because it's either that or you wait, stress myself out. The ticket goes up in increments, and by the time you wait,
$300
exactly. So it's a $300 ticket. Exactly. Ooh. Yes. So it's like
the system is broke.
How do you dispute? How do you dispute when they tell you, when you have a knee implant and you go through the metal detector and it goes off and they're looking at you crazy, but you're telling them
I have a knee replacement.
I got a knee replacement, or I have a pacemaker. Everybody has to know your business, and it's not like they take you into this little secret room. You're in the midst of the public.
So you understand how I was feeling
exactly.
that day. Exactly. I had a biopsy before, and they put a chip where they did it so that they can always remember where they were.
Exactly.
And after I gave the comment about the underwire bra, I was like, you want to know where the chip is too? Right. I didn't know what else to do. Can I please make my flight?
Yes, because that's what it amounts to sometimes. Like, I went to Phoenix last month, and
she's
the young
international traveler. I have an international traveler with me.
She has her gloves on, and she's like patting everybody down. Then she takes her hand and puts it in my hair. I said, "So
what? Are you serious?
I am so serious.
Oh, I'm so not ready. I'm not strong enough."
Yeah, I said, "So you mean to tell me you pat everybody down with those same nasty gloves, and then you put that in my hair?" And then I didn't want to go there with her because let me tell you something. Had I gone there with her, I would have missed my flight. So I looked at her and I said, "No, you didn't." She was like, "Well, I'm sorry." Okay, so now I got the heebie-jeebies in my hair. Can I be real? I got the some things probably crawling around in my hair because you were not even considerate enough before you knew you had to touch someone's hair to even change your gloves. Like, really? Who does that? Ooh. And again, for the sake of not wanting to miss my flight, I said, "Carmen, I'm gonna need you to shut up, not be quiet. I'm gonna need you to shut up because if you say something to her, and people are really touching.
They can't wait to arrest you.
Of course, I'm at the Metro Airport. I'm like, I'm not trying to go down like that. I got a trip I'm about to go on. I'm about to go have some fun. I was like, let me just shut up right now. I kept it moving. Ask God for some blessings.
I know that
the patch of my hair didn't fall out.
I know.
Kept on moving. I was like, "Are you serious?" But this is what we're subjected
nobody else
to.
Thought anything else
nobody thought about it. Obviously she didn't either because she just was like, "Oh." I was just like, "Really?" And of course, I'm not expecting it. She didn't say it because typically I've traveled before and people have said, "Well, I gotta just kind of make sure there's." And then I'm like, okay, so my hair, why not the next person's hair? Why is it that you feel the need to fill in my hair like I could be concealing something?
No, you look like you got a shank up in there.
Right, like, hold on a second. Like, really?
Y'all better watch out. This international traveler's packing in between the fourth braid back there. Woo. Yep. Leave her alone.
Right.
Don't come up to her at the gas station. You better watch out. What?
Right. Right. I'm like, are you really for real?
So, we are, I would say, well, we ain't got all our sense, but we are people who have most of our sense.
Most of it, yes. Most.
So
93%.
I'm probably a little less than you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Just, we're on TV.
Yeah, I know. I do struggle. I'm really struggling because I would have a major.
Mm-hmm. If not,
girl, I'm still trying to
Detroit
move
Metro Airport.
You hear me?
Trust me. And Steve knows. You know, baby. You know.
You know.
Yes, you know.
Yeah. Because I can see you looking like
okay,
they don't know. I know.
Not the right time.
Him doing this.
Definitely not the right place. Just I need you to zip it, suck it up, and keep on moving. Exactly.
So I become concerned because we joke and laugh about it, but these are like really big issues because you have a lot of people who are on their second or third chance, and if they say something to advocate for themselves, it's taken as hostility.
Exactly.
That's one.
Exactly.
And then you have some who just lack the ability because of health needs or special needs or mental illness.
Yes.
And they don't have the ability. So I'm a talk about mental illness just a little bit and mental health. some people don't have the ability to talk themselves down.
They don't.
Because they may be suffering from being bipolar, schizophrenic.
Yes.
And that one thing could set them off.
Yes.
And so the other thing I would say is a lot of time we have that stuff in our families, and the challenge is nobody is talking about it.
That's so true.
You know, you just think it's you, and you just think that, you know, you're struggling with trying to get back on track or stay on track.
Yes.
You keep falling off track again, and you just think that it's you, something's wrong with you. And we don't talk enough to each other in our families to say, well, you know what, sweetheart, you know, your grandfather suffered with depression.
Yes.
You know, this is a hereditary thing. You know, let's work on this together, because everybody wants to cover up the stuff. But when things like this come to the forefront, you be like, what happened? Why did they snap? It's because I already was struggling with what I was carrying for that day. So I always tell people, you know, I'm very mindful of how I talk to people, because you don't know. I remember when Engler.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to stop right there for just a second.
Yes.
Just breathe.
Musa. Okay. Yes.
When he was in office and they cut general assistance.
Yes.
For people who work in the community, you understand why I paused. Because I don't get into politics. I mean, that's not where my life and I spend my energy.
Yes.
But I will say that changed the mental health community. There was so many people who lost their benefits, and they have. Some are still on the streets.
Yes, and in jail.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I paused for a minute.
Yes.
Because if I'm not taking my medication, and that's where I'm going with this. You have some people that have been diagnosed, and I always tell people I'm very mindful how I talk to people, how I look at them.
That's right. You must be.
Because you don't know who's not taking their meds and they need them.
Exactly.
And you have no idea that one twist of the eye, or the fact that you were too busy to acknowledge them. You know, oftentimes when I would do food distributions, I told somebody when I was training my staff, I says poverty brings about a certain type of anger.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And anxiety.
Steve and I talk about that all
you hear
the
me?
time.
I mean, it's a untamed anger and anxiety, and it comes out in the places you least expect it.
Unleashing the beast.
So if you look at, and I use the word poverty, I'm not using it like Tiny Tim and what we've seen on TV. I'm talking about poverty for working folks.
Yes, yes.
I need you to take your mind off people being homeless, and I'm talking about poverty that's dressed up in a suit.
Yes. Go to work 40 hours a week.
And still can't pay
and
no
still
bills.
can't pay the bills, yes.
And I'm $1 under qualifying.
For
I make
assistance.
$1 over.
Yes.
So I don't qualify for assistance or health care because, you know, health care is changing.
Yes.
But my point to you is, I know, you meet an untamed anger and frustration because one more rejection, sometimes one more delay. I would have people in the line being like, how much longer? First off, G.
Right.
You in your warm car.
Okay.
Just stay with me. Because I told you I ain't got a whole lot of tolerance.
Okay.
You in your warm car.
Exactly.
We are standing in the rain.
Yes. That's right.
And you're asking how much longer before your warm vehicle makes it up to the front of the line. You don't even have to get out. You don't have to stand outside and wait for your food. I just need you to drive and move forward.
And be patient.
After each car. And you see us falling in the rain. Sometimes it would be snow. But it's that untamed anger and anxiety that comes with poverty.
Yes, I need it now. I must have it now. And if you put
you're not giving it to me now, it's
yes.
You treat me bad.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Or they would get pissed off because the walkers, we would service them first.
Because
they're standing in the rain.
Like we are, but we're the ones actually giving the food out.
With their strollers.
Servicing you all.
Girl.
We just did a food drive at Steve's school. He asked me to come up and assist, and
so it was. You felt what I was telling you.
Oh my goodness, it was freezing cold outside, and
I remember what day it was there.
Yes, I forgot my gloves at home, so they gave us all gloves. You know, they were huge, but I was not discriminating that day. I was just like, I'm about to put these gloves on. I'm not trying to be cute. We here to get a job done. the Gleaners food truck pulled up. They unloaded like pallets upon pallets of food. And I was just like, wow. So we just got to get this done. So, you know, we got the line moving, the cars. We got a family sometimes walking up. This one young man and his son, really, they stuck to me to this day. The gentleman came up. He was so polite, so kind. He said he just happened to be walking past. And he was on his way to the grocery store. And the grocery store was a little bit further down the street. And he was just like, okay. And, you know, I made it a point. I got a bag. You know, I was like, you know, are you walking?
So
he was like, yeah. So I made sure, instead of giving him the box that we were actually putting into the vehicles, I made sure I double bagged, triple bagged his bag and just started putting stuff in. I wasn't even like paying attention. I'm just putting it in. So he has a little son with him. He was so handsome and he just looked and he was like, thank you. And I was just like, it warmed my heart. It touched my heart. And I was just like, this is what we live for. This is what I live for.
Yes.
I live to touch people's lives.
So you can help touch more lives.
Well, I'm more than happy to help touch lives, because this is just what I live for. And just looking into that little boy's eyes, and the dad was just like, y'all just don't know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because
he on his way to the grocery store don't mean he was going to get to buy really some groceries.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just getting something
just
through
to
the
get
day.
a couple of things. And I just like loaded his bag up, and we just like loved on them and you know, sent them on their way. And it was the most awesome thing just to see. And I mean, of all the people that came through, I was like,
Isn't
you know,
that
it was just that one family, that son and that father and that son that came through. And I was just like, wow, that just touched my heart.
And I always tell people, you can't be sensitive because you don't know where people are coming from.
Yes.
You don't know who got to them before you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes.
You don't know who spoke to them in a disrespectful manner, and your tone is just too much for them at that point. You know, so I always, you know, when I'm training folks, speak almost just a octave above a whisper.
Yes. Yes.
You know, don't allow your body language to be now. Understand. I don't care nothing about no poverty if you're getting too close up on us.
Right. I don't know what you got to do. Right.
Ma'am, I need you to stay right there behind the line, and we'll call you over and take care of you.
Exactly.
You know, so
still got to keep that distance.
Safety has to be there first. You just, even in saying that, you have to be sensitive to how you talk to people.
Exactly.
And so, you know, there was a time when we would treat people the way we wanted to be treated.
Oh. Did those days exist still? I'm trying to figure it out. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't think they really exist anymore.
And I agree with you only because sometimes we don't know how to treat ourselves. So talk about this conference, girl. Tell me about this conference.
Well, I am going to host a women's empowerment workshop on Friday, March 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. And I will give you all further details. I'm going to give you my email address in a moment. But it's a collaboration between my company, Trust Your Heart Senior Placement and Resource Network, and Girl World. I have a friend, Dr. Lisa First, out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Awesome.
She is a women's empowerment speaker, and she's going to come in and do an interactive workshop with the women. And the name of the workshop is Get Some Focus, Girl.
I love it.
And she writes ebooks. Her thing is women's empowerment, and she has a series of ebooks, and one of her ebooks is Get Some Focus, Girl. And her whole point in wanting to come here and actually do this interactive workshop with us is because a lot of people, we're what she said was in disorganized chaos. We're all in disorganized chaos. We're running around, you know, we've been taught to multitask, and multitasking requires your mind to be in a lot of different places, when in order to be really truly effective, you should really focus on that one thing.
That's right.
So she's going, without giving away too much information,
You got to come.
You got to come to the workshop.
What's the date again?
The date is Friday, March 24th.
Okay.
It's from 6 to 9. And the location is to be announced, is to be disclosed. We have the location, but in order for you to actually get the information,
you got to register.
I need for you all to email me.
Okay, very good. So people ain't just showing up.
Exactly. The email address is scelam16@gmail.com. So that's S as in Steve, C as in Carmen, Elam, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, A as in Apple, M as in Mary, 16, the number 16 at gmail.com. SCELAM16@gmail.com.
Who is your target audience? Like what ages?
The target audience is women from about 18 up until, really there is no
young women like me.
Young women like us, yes. Young women like us. So we're like 18 up until, I mean, you can be 50 or 60. This encompasses everybody because I don't think there's an age group for needing to get your mind focused and get your mind right. I think that we could all use some type of structure. And I think that this class, this workshop is going to bring, this is going to bring focus and structure for a lot of women. And this class is not for the faint-hearted. This is for somebody who is serious, truly serious about changing their lives.
I love it.
So if you're not serious about changing your life, you know, it's probably not the workshop for you. We'll have some other workshops in the future that you might be able to take advantage of.
Where you can play patty cake with your life. This is for the real gamers.
Yes, this is for the real gamers. Yes.
Can you also, because I did, you know, I joked about it, but it's true. I have an international traveler here with me. But it's not just that she's a traveler, but she will also help you travel. Can you please share just a little bit about your traveling business with them and how they can get in touch to get some good rates? Yes. And only because a lot of people are getting income tax money and some of y'all need to get away. You don't need another, your TV big enough.
Yes.
You don't need a larger TV. You got enough gym shoes. You can't wear but one pair at a time.
That's right.
But make some memories and go somewhere and relax and make a new memory and share some time with some family members you haven't seen. So I'm sorry, tell them real quick, like what it is and how they get in touch. And
well, just what you said, making memories. You can buy your child, let's just say your child, you can buy your child a toy for Christmas, and next Christmas they're really not going to remember what toy you purchased for them.
That's true.
However,
more than likely be broke too.
And more than likely you'll be broke. And if you are actually traveling, taking your child on a very nice vacation, I bet they're going to remember that experience a lot better than they will remember that toy. So I am my husband and I are part of an elite travel club, and it's an invitation only travel club. I've been on 3 trips so far. We've been on 3 trips. So we've been to Miami. Well, I've been to Miami. Sorry, Steve. He was working.
It's all right. Somebody got to hold it down.
Miami, Phoenix. And we just recently came back from DC. So within the last 5 months, as a matter of fact, 3 trips. And if you all want to get information on how to become a member of this Elite Travel Club, you can email me at the same address. It's scelam16@gmail.com. SCELAM16@gmail.com.
She is a phenomenal communicator.
Well, thank you so much.
She gives eye contact. She articulates her letters. And there is absolutely no reason for you not to be able to keep up.
That's right.
So the cool piece about this, Elam, is that it is recorded. It's live. But they can always go back, move the dial over, and play it over again to make sure that they have the right information. Awesome. I cannot say enough to thank you for being with me on the show on today. I think
thank you so much.
You are genuinely a breath of fresh air to a lot of systems and issues that come up that a lot of people won't talk about.
Thank you.
But it's very real. It's so good to know I have a sister in the fight when it comes to going through security at the airport.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not alone. We probably should never go together. Because we'll be clank, clank. Y'all gonna have to come and get both of us out. I'll be singing. Right. And she gonna be like, I need to meet with a supervisor. I'm gonna be still singing in the background about delivering me, Lord.
That's right. I'm right there with you. I'll hold your ground.
To change the ball in prison.
I'd like to thank you so much, Yo, for having me on the show.
Yeah, it truly is.
This is awesome. I've never been on a Facebook Live show before, except for my own.
This is national.
But this is awesome.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you nervous.
That's okay. No, I'm
46 countries.
Wow, awesome.
49. Y'all know I'm very
Yes, thank
mindful
you.
not to tear up nothing, so we ain't gonna throw no real mics. That's why this mic sit right here. We just gonna throw that in.
We're gonna need this to work later.
Yeah.
For sure. But
Yeah.
I want to thank you so
Bless
much
you.
again. It's been a wonderful event. I've never experienced anything like this, and I appreciate sharing this time with
Yeah.
you.
Well, we will probably have you back.
Well, I appreciate that, and I will most
I
definitely
know.
accept the
You
invitation.
know what I think I'll do? Why don't you
Yes.
and my buddy come?
Most definitely.
You think I can handle y'all together?
We accept. Yes.
Dear Jesus and God.
We accept. Yes. Most definitely.
Get us ready. If we can take the Kinseys, I think we can handle
Hallelujah.
the Elams.
That's right.
Yeah,
We
I know.
would definitely be back. Yes, for sure.
So Elam, you
Yes.
get ready because I need you to be here
Get
with your
ready,
sweetie,
baby.
with your boo.
That's right.
And you, when I say you all will enjoy
Yes.
them, they are truly a joy and even a double joy to bring together. Good to see you, Di and Tanya. We appreciate all of you all chiming again. You are with More Than Enough with Yo at
Awesome.
worshipdetroit.com. This is my very special guest, friend, and partner in entrepreneurship, Carmen Elam. I am going to have her back because there are some pieces of the work that she does. I really, truly, honestly believe that people would benefit by knowing it. But I want to honor our time on today. Sometimes, you know, when you go to a buffet, you can't eat it all.
You're right. This is a little time when you
But you got to let it be good enough that you say, I can't wait to come back and
Exactly.
get some of that.
That's
Because I
right.
remember how good that was.
That's
That's
right.
what I wanted to be for you all again.
That's
Join
right.
in with us on Saturday as well for You Can't Stop Me at 1 p.m. We will have Middleton in the house, guaranteed to be entertainment. My producer and I was meeting some time ago, and we were like, are these comedy hours, or is this information to help people, or whatever? It tends to be a
everyone.
little bit of everything. We have some new things that are coming. I want you all to reserve now, March the 10th. At 7 p.m. I will upload the flyer and you will know why, but you don't want to miss it. March the 10th at 7 p.m. You do not want to miss it. I give you my word. It will be life-changing. I give you my word. Thank you so much again, Carmen. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much
you.
again.
Thank you, Elam, Steve, for sharing your honey with us today. She is a great compliment to who you are.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And we will see you all on next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and also see you on Saturday at 1 o'clock with You Can't Stop Me. Thank you again for chiming in with us. To all my family and friends and those that are in Mexico, we appreciate you all viewing.
Wow.
Share this with somebody. I believe it's going to be an encouragement for folks. If nothing else, they'll hear about what the wands and the scans pick up.
Yes. Sounds
Yeah.
like a winner.
Things they shouldn't do. All right. Thank you all
Right,
again.
don't do
Have
it
a
at the airport.
wonderful day. Don't fight them. Just fight the system.
Right.
All
Just-
right. Have a great night, and thank you again.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to the Marketplace Connection. Join me each week.